Hey guys, what's up? And today we're going to be making a tier list, but first we're going to talk about why I don't like the Perdwin GG or the community tier list as it is, and it's for a couple of reasons. So let's go ahead and hop into that now. One of the big problems that I have with the Perdwin GG or community tier list is what we'll call it for the rest of the video, is that the tiers that they actually rank the characters on, they have SS, S+, and S. I don't think there should be 3 S's you classify a character in. I think that really clouds the judgment of players, and to me it seems like that they're sugarcoating this just to not offend anyone. Because I don't want to call the character bad or something. And not to say this tier list is right by any means, but yeah, there's also some other decisions that they make in this tier list that I really just don't agree with. Like me personally, I definitely wouldn't put Asta down in an A tier. She has a really sick shield break skill. She also increases the speed of the whole team, and she increases the attack of the whole team as well. If we're using this tier list as standards, I think she deserves to be in at least an S tier here, just because Pela, all she does is remove 1 buff from the enemy and bring the defense down of the enemy. That's really about it. Honestly, I think Asta is better than Pela because Asta also hits multiple times on the enemy, meaning shield breaking is a lot easier with Asta against fire effective opponents. I also don't think Ting Yun should be in the S+ tier. I think Welch should probably be in the S+ tier and Ting Yun should be in the S tier if I were to have it my way. Also, as far as DPS goes, I don't honestly know how you put Yang Qing below Dan Heng. That just seems kind of really copium to me. If you've seen Yang Qing's damage, he just is absolutely insane. He also has a counter too, which is really nice. So that's just something else I have a gripe with here. I think the defensive support's pretty accurate. Bailu, Japard, and Trailblazer, with March 7 and Natasha being down here below. And I feel like Natasha in the long run will probably be better than Bailu, especially when they start introducing more debuffs to the game, just because Bailu doesn't have a cleanse. And I do think this can come to bite her in the ass, because once debuffs come to the game that actually kill your character on one turn, it doesn't matter how much healing you do. If you can't remove that debuff, then you'll just die really quick. And you've already kind of seen this with World 5 of Simulated Universes with Kafka. Kafka just destroys your team, and not having a cleanse really kind of screws you over, honestly. I think Clara deserves to be pretty high on this list. I do think her counters and everything make her really, really good. I think she could honestly be on the same level as Seele, if I'm being quite honest with you. She's a very slow unit, but she does a lot. She breaks the norms of the game quite a bit because she can interrupt turns. Same with Seele. Seele can get extra turns, like especially if you use Seele, hit an ultimate off, then you can use your skill after that if you kill that enemy. And with that, I think she should be on the same tier as Seele. Now onto the A tier. I definitely think Sampo should be up here with these guys here. Sampo is just really good, and I think they're undervaluing Sampo quite a bit. Also Serval too. I think Serval's a bit better than the rating that they're giving her here. While she doesn't do that good single target damage, she definitely does really good target to AoE. Now this will of course move down when Yang Jing comes to the game, just because he's just superior in almost every way to her. QQ, I think QQ probably deserves to be down here. She's very RNG based, and it's kind of cringe. Herte and Arlon, I honestly think Arlon should be in C tier. Arlon just does not hit the same as he did in the beta, and yeah, he's just kind of down bad. But guys, before we actually hop into my tier list, maybe hit that subscribe button, because maybe my takes aren't as copium as you might think. Only like 2% of you guys are actually subscribed to the channel from the Honkai community, so please drop a sub, and let's go ahead and hop into my copium tier list now. Woo! Now, as you can see from my tier list, we have S, A, B, C, and D. We are reducing the amount of tiers because we really don't need that many tiers to actually categorize a character. So starting off the list here, Arlon, I think Arlon's a D tier. I think Arlon kills himself way too quickly. Maybe in the future, in the very, very, very late game, he can be really, really good. But as of right now, they nerfed him into the ground after closed beta because he was so strong in closed beta. So yeah, as of now, Arlon is D tier. Asta, I think Asta's an A tier. I think Asta is a really solid support type unit. I think Asta's ability to provide speed to the whole team, she provides a great shield break, and she also provides attack to the whole team, makes her really viable on a team. Bailu, let's go ahead and throw Bailu in the S tier for defensive support. I think Bailu has absolutely amazing healing. She is definitely the best healer in the game, and there's no doubting that right now. But like I said, in the future, I think this will drop. I think Natasha could move up, especially when they add more debuffs in that actually affects you a lot more. But yeah, for now, she'll be an S tier. Bronya, come on, S tier support. Because first of all, she has a cleanse, which is really nice, so you can use her and Bailu on the same team and absolutely snap off. Also, she increases so many stats on your characters, it's just insane. So for that reason, obviously S tier, she's the best support in the game in my opinion. Clara, I think, is an S tier DPS, absolutely amazing, absolutely great, and I think you should invest in her if you have her, for sure. Dan Heng is a B tier DPS for me. I don't think he's bad by any means, but I also don't think he's the best DPS by any means either. with his ability to attack one target and do great damage to that one target. It's really good. And honestly, I think every single character in the hunt category is better than him. I think he's the worst hunt character in the game right now. Oh, Jeppy, we're putting him straight to the S tier. That boy Jeppy can give you some shield now. He can freeze the enemy, and he has his own self-revive. Man, that boy Jeppy knows what he's doing. Herta Schmurta Ferlorta. We're putting her in the C tier. I think she's better than Arlon. Honestly, I think Arlon's just kind of washed. She can also freeze the enemies and so on and so forth. So I think definitely better than Arlon because you don't have to have your health so low to actually use her. But I don't think she's like the strongest in the game by any means. So yeah, she's in C tier. Himiko is also going to be in the B tier. Himiko is good, like I said. She provides nice follow-up attacks. She also provides decent damage, but I think as far as like overall damage goes, she's not the best. Hook right into the A tier, baby. Hook is amazing, guys. You guys should look into building your Hook if you haven't already. She actually does massive damage because she's a DPS unit that needs debuffs to work, and she actually gives those debuffs to the enemies. You can stack up those debuffs and do more damage on the enemies, and you keep rinsing and repeating, and building and building and building until she does absolutely massive damage. So for that reason, we're putting Hook in the A tier. Jingyu Wong's next on the list, but he's not out in the game yet, so we're not even gonna rate him. I think March 7th is B tier. I don't think March 7th is like necessarily the worst in the game, but I don't think she's the best in the game either. She does provide shield for one character. She can also freeze all the enemies with her ultimate attack, and she also has follow-up attacks as well for the person that you did shield. So for that reason, I think she's decent, but overall just doesn't do that much damage. And as far as defensive support goes, she, like I said, she only can shield one ally, which kind of lowers her down for me. So yeah, that's the reason we're putting her here. I think Natasha's an A tier defensive support unit just because she has a cleanse, she has a heal, you get her for free, and she's just really, really good. And also, you're gonna need her for your Abyss or your Hall of Memories or whatever it's called. So definitely Natasha goes up here on this list for me. I'm putting Pela in the B tier. I don't think Pela's necessarily bad. She does remove one buff from the enemy. She also has a chance to freeze the enemy, and on top of that, she removes some defense from the enemy as well. But outside of that, she really doesn't do as much as Asta does. I think Asta's just a better character all around. Pela is, like I said, though, is not bad and can definitely be used on certain team comps. It's just very specific team comps where she can be used in. So next on the list is actually QQ, and QQ is hard for me to grade because she does really, really big damage, but she uses a lot of skill points, and it takes a long time for her to actually build up. That means if you have QQ on the team, everything goes to QQ. Everything has to go to QQ for it to work. I would put her in C tier, but honestly, with the amount of damage she does, I have to put her in B tier with these guys. She does pretty decent damage. Shampoo, straight to A tier. Come on, Mr. Shampoo. He destroys World 5. He destroys a lot of the simulated universes. He does great DOT damage. He's only going to get better with time the more DOT that's released to the game, and I just think he's a really good unit to use. He does good AoE damage. He does really good single target damage, especially if there's only one there. Ooh, he slices them boys up. Anyways, but yeah, Shampoo's really good. He gives DOT support for the rest of the team as well as far as ultimate goes. Windshear also does pretty good damage. Seele straight to S tier. Come on, guys. I don't think I need to say anything about this. I think Seele is the strongest DPS in the game right now. She absolutely destroys it, and she definitely deserves a place in S tier. Serval goes straight to A tier for me. Serval provides a lot of AoE damage to enemies, especially against electric enemies. She also provides a shock to those enemies as well, meaning they're going to have DOT, meaning she works really good with Shampoo, and I love my Sampo. But like I said, she provides shock to the enemies, which then increases her damage even more. Her ultimate is like a really low energy cost as well, meaning you can farm this ultimate up quite a bit and quite fast actually. And honestly, she just does pretty decent damage to everything around the board. So Serval, let's go. Chushang also goes in the A tier as well. She's a really good single target hunt character, and she destroys. She just destroys. She's a really good physical DPS, so that's why we're putting her here. Let's go. Trailblazer Physical is going to go down to here C tier with Herta. Trailblazer Physical is really just not that good. I wouldn't say invest in his talents too much just because he's not good, but the Fire MC is, and that's what we're gonna be rating next. Fire MC goes straight up here to S. Fire MC is just absolutely insane. Provides a great damage resistance buff, also provides shield for the whole team, and taunts the enemy as well. So all the enemies are attacking them instead of attacking your other allies, and this is really good. Taunt is really, really good. Something that Japar doesn't have, and I think he definitely should. Tengyun. Honestly, I think Tengyun's going straight to A tier. The reason I'm putting Tengyun in A tier, not S tier, is because basically what Tengyun does is her skill really only increases the attack of the ally versus Brawny, which increases the damage done of the ally, and damage done is a lot better than attack. Now her ultimate does increase the damage done, but overall attack's just really not as good as damage done. That's why I think there's two different levels to this. I think Brawny is clearly better than Tengyun is. So that's why we're putting Bronny in S tier, we're putting Ting Yun in A tier, and this kind of makes the tier list more cohesive, because now people don't think Ting Yun is as good as Bronny, when I think Bronny is definitely better than Ting Yun is. So yeah. Welt, honestly, Welt goes to the S tier. Welt is really good. This man can lock down enemies. Like, he just stops them from playing the game. He stops their turns, basically, and this is really good. I don't know why the community tier list didn't have him higher, but he stops enemies' turns, guys. Come on. He also reduces their speed and makes them play the game less. That is a really unique and nice skill to have. Make them stop playing the game so they cannot deal damage to you. This is a really great debuff. I honestly don't know why. This is miles above Pela, so I don't even know why he was on the level of Pela. This is a lot better than Pela. Come on, guys. And finally, for me, Yanqing. For me, Yanqing's S tier. Yanqing is just really good. He does great single target DPS, not to mention he also does follow-up attacks as well. For a hunt character? Come on, guys. He also hits really freaking hard, too. So I don't know why they had him down there. With them, he's just obviously better than them in every way. But yeah, guys, that's really gonna do it for our tier list and criticism of the other tier lists today. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and maybe consider subscribing. But yeah, like I said, that's gonna do it. If you have any thoughts or any opinions or any criticism, leave them in the comments below. I'll try to get back to you as soon as I can when I see it. Yeah, I love to have chats with you guys in the comment section. This is a community thing I want to make. Just please let me know all your criticism and thoughts in the comments so we can chat about it and figure out a better tier list. Maybe there's something that I'm missing. Maybe I'm copium, and we all know that I'm copium. So yeah, guys, let me know in the comments below, and that's really gonna do it. See you guys later. Bye bye.